I'm here to talk about what is mobile gaming. And honestly, I think mobile gaming is fucking boring. So that's why I decided to try and do something which is a little bit different in this area of business. And so today everyone plays mobile games and people play social games on Facebook. So how many in here have played social games on Facebook? 5 at least. Farmville, anyone? Farmville? Mafia Wars? Okay. Anyway, so who am I? I'm Simon. I am living here in Kiev for 3 years. Поэтому по-русски иногда чуть-чуть. I am the engagement manager for Ciklum's project office. Ciklum is an outsourcing company, and my department has 200 people, where we build mobile applications and mobile games, and all sorts of other software. And I will be working in Ciklum for the next 2 weeks, and then I'm done. I will start my own mobile gaming business here in Kiev as well, with an American and a British guy and a local Ukrainian friend of mine. And thus I will be the guy who's responsible for building games. So that's going to be really interesting. And then this is what I'm going to be talking to you about. I am 34 years old. I'm Danish, obviously. I'm not from Copenhagen, but I've lived there 7 years. I have a bachelor in information sciences from Aarhus University, where they have a very good AISEC program, by the way. And I'm a master in e-business from the IT University of Copenhagen. Like I said, I've been 3 years in Ciklum, or 3 years in Ukraine. And I've helped build a project office in Ciklum from 25-30 people to 200. And the 150 of them we hired probably in 4 months. So it was a big mess. And yeah, I play computer. I have elite gaming skills on 4 platforms. So I play my PC, I play my Xbox or PlayStation, I play my tablet, and I play my smartphone. And hopefully I'll be playing something else in the future. So, we're here to talk a little bit about what is mobile gaming. What is it about, and how is it moving? Many of you have probably recently bought yourself a smartphone. At least in the last year, probably a few of you went from Lollipop smartphone to, well, it's over there, another smartphone. The mobile gaming market is really growing, okay? In the US alone, as you can see, it grew by 34% in players from 2011 to 2012. This is 2012 December. But what's more important is that people are actually spending up to 70% more time playing mobile games. So not only are more people playing, but people are actually spending more time. The reason why people are spending more time in games is because the games are becoming more interesting. Like I said, mobile games, fucking boring. But they're getting more interesting because they're getting more complicated. Because they're getting more interested and because they're getting more complicated, more people are interested in paying to play mobile games. So, more people take their credit card, they run it through their smartphone, and they spend some kind of money playing a game. That is good. It's good for you guys if you get into this industry. And it's good for me because I think it's fun to play on a computer or on a mobile phone. And obviously, as you can see, 17% have spent more money than we have before. So in general, the industry for mobile gaming is growing, both in terms of people, both in terms of time they spend, and obviously in terms of the money that they also spend on these platforms. And does anyone know what is the average age of a gamer? That's correct. 35 years old. So that makes me the average, basically, which is good. But what is the difference? If you know there are 35, do you know what is the sex difference in terms of players? More men, more women, equal, big difference?
More men.
More men, true. How big a difference?
3 times men.
So for mobile gaming, it's actually 55-45. Funny fact, right? You didn't know that. So girls like to play on mobile phones too, which is good. Okay, so a little bit more numbers. Just Worldwide, the market for mobile games is $9 billion. That is 9,000 million US dollars. That is growing a lot still. So just from 11 to 2012, that grew from it grew with 35%, which is a lot. And it's just because we're seeing more smartphones. We have probably around 500 million people worldwide who play mobile games. And another thing is that when you watch TV, 77% of you actually play fiddle with your smartphone or your tablet while you're there. So you're not really that interested in the TV, but you might not really be interested in talking to your friends, so you're just texting a little bit and playing games. This is something that I picked up on a while ago and that I'll be talking about a little bit later. But of all those people, roughly 175 million people globally actually spend some money playing games with their smartphone, which is a lot of people. Why is mobile gaming growing as much as it is? One of the reasons is, of course, that Apple decided to make sure that we could have in-app purchases. So you get an app for free. Inside of the app, if you want to play more or if you want to get something extra, you can spend with your iTunes account, which is very good. So this is one of the reasons that it's growing, because more and more people want to make money from this mobile app economy. So in this sense, you see the developing companies going and saying, hey, I want to be in this market, I want to make these things for free, but if they want to pay premium, they can put their money here. Another reason why the mobile app economy or mobile games economy is growing is that most of you who bought a smartphone, many of you are now looking at, am I going to get the Android tablet? Am I going to get the iOS tablet? Am I going to get the Windows tablet? Which tablet should I get? But most of you are thinking, I want to have a tablet at one point. So gaming companies, app companies, they are going to companies such as mine and saying, hey, I have an iOS app. Now I would like to have an iOS app for my tablet. Could you build this? Of course. So there are more and more things available on more and more platforms. And then there's a new term. I used to be a hardcore gamer. I'm not so hardcore anymore. But there is something called casual gamers, which is any of you who's playing with a smartphone while you're at home or sitting in the bus or going somewhere. That's a casual gamer. A hardcore gamer is a first-person shooter, strategy games, World of Warcraft playing, League of Legends interested person who spends 60 hours a week just punching a button, okay? But the mid-core gamer, that's a guy or a girl who takes their experience from the mobile or from the tablet and they merge that with the other things that they're interested in. So they spend more and more time competing against other people socially online. And these people are slowly moving from casual games to hardcore games, but they're somewhere in between. Remember, mobile games are boring, okay? So we're moving from boring casual games towards hardcore, interesting, fun games. That's the mid-core gamer. So those are the three main things. In-app purchases, tablet and smartphone, building companies, and these new gamers sitting in this room who are playing games more and more. Mobile games, 33% of all downloads are mobile games. So 66% are apps, which is fine. But mobile games, 33%. That's a lot. But what's more, 66% of all revenue, all money that people spend on mobile apps goes to mobile games on from your smartphone or your tablet. That's also a lot. So final number, US mobile gamers spend 70% more time playing on their mobile or their tablet in 2012 compared to 2011. Again, I say a lot, but this is a lot. It's a big rise. How many here knows the word, or the term, ubiquitous computing? Pervasive computing? Okay. So, ubiquitous computing or pervasive computing is a post-desktop model of human-computer interaction in which information processing has been thoroughly integrated into everyday objects and activities. So what does that mean? That basically means that your smartphone and your refrigerator and your stove and your shoes and your watch and all the things that have some kind of electricity can have a CPU inside in the future. And they will all be talking together, and they will all be saying, you're here, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're hungry, have something to eat, there is eggs in the fridge, open it up and put it on the stove. Okay. So that's science fiction. But we're getting there slowly, okay? Ubiquitous computing presents challenges across computer science in systems of design, engineering, and in modeling, and most importantly, at least for me, in user interface design. So, in a world where everything is going to be talking together in all sorts of ways, you're going to have, as developers, you're going to have a huge challenge making sure that all those things talking together are talking together with each other in the right way. That means you need to understand, what does a guy who goes to football, what is he most interested in? He's most interested in getting a pair of good shoes to play. But you need to think about what is he most interested in at the very second he's going to go play soccer. If he forgets his football shoes at home, he won't be able to play. So you have to think about how you're going to remind him to bring your bloody shoes to soccer. But if you don't think about this as a developer and as a product developer, your product will not have success. So there's a big challenge in taking all these things and connecting them. It's not just going to happen overnight. It's going to be somebody with a big brain who's going to be coordinating all of this. Okay, so getting a little bit back to this, people are doing something when they're watching TV, they're playing with their mobile phone. 22% of American mobile gamers, they use games as an extension of their current game on a different platform. So, I'll get to that in just a second. People, last year we saw a 52% increase in people who play games on more than just one platform. So they're playing games on multiple platforms. Why? Because you're seeing it in your home, you have a TV, you have your laptop or your stationary computer, you have your smartphone, and you have your floating screen, your tablet or your Wii U, whatever. All those things are separate. There are 4 different things. They don't talk to each other, they don't play with each other, they just exist in your pocket and your bags, and you walk around and nothing happens. They're just separate. What you will see in the future is those 4 things coming together, giving you something which is bigger and better than what you have today. That's my prediction. You have other platforms which are coming, like the Oculus Rift. You see the grandma playing virtual reality. She goes all crazy about that because it's, for her, it's basically science fiction. And then obviously the much talked about Google Glass, which is yet another platform. So in technology and IT, we're spending so much time building new technology here, there, everywhere, and none of it is really talking together as things that are connected. They're all separate things that don't really talk well across. So my suggestion is that your TV should marry your smartphone. Okay? They should get together, they should have small little technology babies. Because together, your smartphone and your TV can be really interesting. Okay? How many in here have played World of Warcraft? I have. A lot. So a few have. Okay. But you know, all of you know World of Warcraft, right? Okay. So inside of World of Warcraft, there is something called the auction house. Now inside this, you can sell your sword, and you can hack people with it, your bow, and all sorts of things. You put that inside of the game. So imagine you're sitting at home Friday night, and you're playing with your computer, you're selling things in the auction house, and you have to go to school, you have to go to work, and you have to leave it, and you have to go and do that thing. You don't know if your auction is working. So they created a tablet that shows you, here is your auction house, here's your sword, here's your blah, 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 and you can see people bidding for it online. So what happened with this particular app is that they took this game world, and they said, this is all fun and games, it's great, but when you're not able to play World of Warcraft, at least we can give you an application that gives you auction house. That meant that this game world suddenly became part of his real world, where he didn't do all the things. Now the next step for World of Warcraft, if they thought a little bit about it, do you know what a guild is? Okay, so the guild inside World of Warcraft, where you have 50 nerds sitting together talking and chatting with each other all the time, you don't talk to your friends when you're at work or in all these other places. Why didn't they ever make a chat application client? Okay, there's RSC, that's for geeks. Why didn't they never make something that connected to your guild, where you could chat with your friends while you were at work or while you were in your study? They never did that, not professionally anyway. That's the future. You see, you take one context of games and you make it available in the real world in a different setting to support the first game, the main game, okay? Okay, so imagine you're sitting at home with your smartphone and you're watching Barcelona play Dynamo Kiev on Olympiski Stadion, and you can see on the TV that Lionel Messi has the ball. Every time Lionel Messi has the ball, most people think, oh, that's bad. So what if you had the opportunity to take your smartphone out of your pocket and you say, if Lionel Messi gets the ball, condition number 1, if he has 2 dribbles with the ball, condition number 2, in 15 seconds, FC Barcelona will score a goal, condition number 3. Make bet available. Okay? So you're sitting at home with your smartphone and you're guessing that when he gets the ball in 15 seconds, FC Barcelona is going to score. If you sat with your friend and you were both doing this, competing with other people sitting in front of their TV with their smartphones, you could be gambling with your friends while you're watching the game. Don't you think it would be a little bit more interesting watching that soccer game? If you could do that? I think so. You don't have to agree with me. But if we take this metaphor of ubiquitous computing, pervasive computing, okay? Where everything is everywhere all the time, and we start thinking about IT as something that is connected in different situations in the world, it means that games will become more interesting because they will be able to match what you're doing, where you are, when you're doing it, okay? So, what am I going to be doing 1st of June? I don't have a fancy video because I don't have my first employee. I'm employee number 1. I have a few other people that I'm talking to, but that's it. Building a gaming studio that does exactly what I just explained, okay? The first game we're building is a golf game. So think about golf. Fucking boring, I know. But it's a really good market, okay? Golf is not very big in Ukraine, but it's very big in the US, it's very big in Europe. We have a license, me and my partners, with the PGA. The PGA is the worldwide global license holder for all professional golf players worldwide. These guys, they're going to say, Simon, your game, we'll put it on a website, and we will officially endorse you. These 4,200 salespeople who teach people how to play golf, they will take your business card and they're going to give it to the people who they train every day so they can make a little bit of money. So I have a professional golf organization talking about Simon's game is the best in the world, which is global, worldwide, and I have 4,200 salespeople saying you should play Simon's game. So that's very big. We have, because of this relationship with these guys, we have access to something PGA calls Shot Tracker. It's an API, basically, that we can connect to, where we can take all the statistics. So, for instance, when Tiger Woods goes on the place where he drives out from, we will know exactly when he drove out. We will be able to see the trajectory of the ball, where it lands, and we'll be able to see in which 3 zones the ball lands in, almost live. So that means that if that ball moves from here to here, we will be able to know when it moves from here to here, and when here, and then the little it needs to get into the hole. All that data we will have. We will have that for every single golfer that plays professional golf on TV. We will have it worldwide, and we have it 2 years back in time. That means I can actually sit down and look at how far does Tiger Woods drive in general. Is it 243? Is it 243 and a half? So it gives me a hell of a lot of data. And when you have a lot of data, you can do a lot of average or median calculations. It gives you the opportunity to create interesting games. So, we will create a golf manager. How many knows what a fantasy manager is? Okay. Imagine that you are a virtual coach. You have $50 million virtual money, and you are going to, in next year, compete in this golf manager. The prize is some money, but for you, it's about being better than your friends and guessing what is going to happen in golf from weekend to weekend, or in Formula 1, or in NBA, or whatever. Okay? So people will be competing from year to year in this game that runs for a long time. It's basically about guessing what is going to be the result of the weekend's golf. This is something you will do when you're sitting at home or at work or at study, just checking your browser on your laptop. Okay? Point number one. You will be playing with the manager, preparing for the weekend from your laptop at work. Second situation. Imagine that you do this laptop work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, that's when real golf starts. You're sitting at home Friday evening, you're not going out, you're just sitting with your tablet, you're logging into the system to see what's my status, where are my players, how are they doing right now. Golf takes 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you log in with your tablet. Where are you when you're sitting with your tablet? You're in your couch, sitting at home, lazy, eating something, watching TV, the sport you love, it's the best sport in the world, you think so. And you have your tablet. You're no longer on this thing over here. Now, most of you think, when you try something that's on your browser, on this thing here, and you try something on your iPad, often those two things are exactly the same. They shouldn't be. This is the mistake. Okay, so let's fast forward. It's golf, you're watching it on TV, it's Saturday afternoon, and they're playing. And you're sitting with your smartphone. Remember the Lionel Messi thing I just talked about? You're sitting and you say, I think Tiger Woods is going to put the ball in that hole in 2 shots. And I'm going to open up this bet for 20 seconds. Boom. You click it, and you make the bet available to whoever is out there. So suddenly, you're playing a manager game about how good you are at predicting what's going to happen on the weekend on this thing. You're checking in with your tablet in the evenings before to socialize with your friends to see what is the status of what's going on. And then when the game actually starts, you take your smartphone out to see what's my status, and you see your friends online, and you start betting. So it's the same user logged in, it's the same purpose of the year is to play these games, but every time you change device, you further move down in terms of how specific you are. And as soon as the golf event is over and the betting is no longer live and you can't bet, maybe you go back to your tablet, maybe you go back to your laptop, and you continue playing the game in a different way. So the game will have 3 different purposes basically. Manager, social, and betting. But all in the same system, making different types of data available at different times on different platforms. So Angry Birds, as fun as it is to keep throwing those bloody birds out, you just keep doing the same. Okay, it's a different challenge, you get smarter, you know that you're it's just repeating. Angry Birds, if it was really fun, it would be different on different platforms, right? Maybe you could create something completely different with Angry Birds on a laptop. I think you can. So, this is my vision, this is my idea. I have pretty much everything in place and I'm very ready to get started. So we're going to start with PGA because that's my partner, he brought this license. And then we're going to start with Formula 1 and we're going to move to these other games. And we're going to be building it in AISEC and Scala, probably, depends on where we end up, but that's the target platforms. You will hear a presentation a little bit later about cross-platform tools development. I gave a presentation last year in Amsterdam about Ciklum, which is a C#.NET MVC-based cross-platform building tool. It is motherfucking smart, and if you are interested in working cross-platform, native, I would look into Ciklum because it's really versatile. My Ciklum developers, they say, I produce less code with Ciklum in C# than if I was an Objective-C developer. And if you know anything about coding, the more code you have, the more bugs. So the less code, the less bugs. And that's what you can do, at least in Ciklum. And it works, so just basically, when you click the button, it compiles your code to native code for each platform. And then you extend the functionality on each platform. I'll talk about that another time if necessary.